odds. You can check out our fantastic betting partners of LootBet. All the information is in the Twitch banners. 10 free CSGO spins and up to 100 euros bonus on your deposit. Jay, jumping into the pistol round, it's actually a fair bit of utility up for Sprout.
Yeah, 3 players buying smokes, putting all those smokes down towards the A side, but this may well be a ruse. No, it's not. Straight out of T-Con, flashes in from Pop Dog as well. Sparrow on site, ready to receive. Mino and Co out to the old held position, looking for contact out of Olaf. P2K faces, lands the tap of Sparrow's flick, but does not get the next kill. Dia can get the bomb plant down as Dennis finds that trade. 4-on-4. Hades creeping in the back. Dennis ready towards the Pop Dog area. Jedka tagged up the 4 HP. Ponchek comes up with his CZ, gets the frag back on Dia. Hades dropping in. Dennis turn around, gets Jedka to return and flicks around towards Hades as well. Amino and Ponchek still trading. Dennis with 4 picks on for the ace. The Molotov landing so far. Position the smokes down on the site right now. Taps up. He gets damaged. Dennis aces the pistol to kick things off for Sprouts.
And that's such a kick in the face to think that you're up against a strong competition side of Sprout, and in the pistol we see Dennis getting an ace to turn around on the 180 through Pop Dog and finishes up absolutely deleting WISLA KRAKOW. Sprout end up going for a really heavy set piece execution to the A bomb site in the pistol, back green, and 2 smokes around the bomb train itself. Oh my goodness, Dennis, that was insane.
That was insane indeed, and with WISLA looking for such a good start as well. Could have been so much more there for the CT cap. Now they're back to force buy. Scouts in, Deagle's out. AK's in with Galil's on 3 other individuals. The Scout and Snatchy will be the main issue player here for Sprout, but they've got 4 rifles across their board. They can't complain too much.
Faffin's been able to get complete Pop Dog control without any contest coming through. Quite a heavy stack coming out, at least the early round, to the A-bomb site for the Deagles, trying to see if they can spam up towards Brownells. Sprout don't have a massive amount of utility to work with. Obviously, the fact that they've got no UMPs or MAC-10s, any SMGs to work with. Smoke execution out to the A-bomb site. Very similar setup of what they did in the pistol.
Really finds the opener here against Mino. Deagle setting the back line, doing damage, not getting many kills though. No player below 50 points of health here for the Sprout side. Scout shot for Sparrow landing very close towards 1 player. Ponchek. Gonna drop through on towards this Pop Dog position once again. The bomb plant is secured. Dennis might well walk in towards an exit frag, and Deagle does get it back to a 4-on-4 scenario. Do the CTs commit off the back of this though?
I picked up an AK. I have wasted a little bit of time, but it looks like they want to try and set themselves up to go through, but now that might be the final kill that defends it all. And Dia chiming in towards stop up. Hades last one left, trying to hold on to this scout, bringing it into the next round. So 2 in a row to come out from the Sprout side. Much more comfortable this time around, Jay. There's 4 players staying alive on T.
Second to the board, a Sprout, 4 alive all in all. Couldn't get that AK that was picked up by the Pop Dog player, so Snatchy's going to have to settle with the Scout for this next one. Shouldn't be too much of a worry though. He had some impact. The rest of the rifles can clean up house for the conversion. Eco. And drop rifle coming in from Farford as well to get Dennis back to a decent economical state. But for WISLA, the only thing saved into this next round is going to be this Scout. The only thing they're going to have to work with other than the basic pistols is going to be this Scout. This is an Eco investment only, a HE and a smoke brought down by Jedka and Ponchek respectively.
WISLA seeing if they can just chime back with a little bit of damage. And nade stack out towards T-Con. Unfortunately, he's not going to do anything. Sprout waiting for some overextensions. You can see how passive they are out through T-Con, through Brown Halls, and even from Ivy of Snatchy. Amino, oh, did see a little bit of a leg from Deha, but unfortunately, he gets the information, but not the kill.
The frag found. 5-on-4. Galil facing in, AK looks up. Dennis looking on for his man, takes him down in the end. 3 standing left for WISLA. Now 2 as Hades falls, the only rifle in play for the CT camp. Ponchek with the CZ picked up. The Scout's still looking to do some damage. I mean, they have tagged Dennis down to 31 HP, but I don't think they can do much from here. This should be Sprout with a simple 3-0, a confident 3-0 to start things off here.
And looking nice and simple. WISLA will be able to get the buy going into the next round. I've seen a couple rounds in a row now from Sprout where not many players have fallen. We saw none in this round, one in the past. So they've got an opportunity to really start to build up this T-side economy, Jay. I wonder if they'll upgrade Snatchy to an AWP going into the next round. There's certainly an opportunity for it if he wants it. Otherwise, he can stick with the Scout and build up even further money. For WISLA, you'd have to think Hades can get an AWP. Sparrow probably not. So it looks like they're just going to run a single AWP going into round 4.
No double AWPs here. And on the hands of Hades as well, who was a bit of a disappointment over the course of the last best of 3. So let's see whether he'll be able to do something here in this best of 3. M4's in, AK's across the board here for Sprout. Actually, not quite. Still a Galil in on 2 individuals. The Scout's still saving him for Snatchy. Would have expected that and understood that. But a value round coming through from Sprout on the first rifle buy.
WISLA, this is an opportunity, like you said, when you haven't got too many upgrades on that Sprout side, you're just bringing in weapons from that last round. It gives a good opportunity and a good shout for the CTs to be able to convert around, especially if they can find an opening pick. Now, we haven't seen any really B-site presence coming out from Sprout. It's been 3 takes into the A-bomb site for the last few rounds. Now starting to take the Brown Horse control, there's hardly any information being found from WISLA. There is no one aggressive. Look how passive they are, both on A and B. No one is trying to look for info.
Smokes go down here from the Ivy presence. There's 2 players here towards B. AWP of Hades set. Does not see the player popping out of the upper position. I don't think he get the vision anyway, so flashes over, smokes go down. Hades with nades the trade. Ponchek sees one player crossing the flashbang, blinds him off, so we can't get an accurate shot. Ponchek and Hades do get those kills though. Farven trades back the AWP, can't land in against Dennis. Sparrow holds against Farven though, so they gain a man advantage for the post plant here. 3 on 2 in favor of the CT side, and the spray from Dennis is awkward. Dia is left alone. 31 points of health, getting that 1 frag, looking for a second, couldn't quite land it. But still, a bonus round. Rifles can get rebought down, and an even better buy for Sprout coming up in the next round. And a bomb plant and 3 casualties. That's good.
That's decent, especially with a bit of a bonus round. Now, for WISLA, what comes off of helping that round a lot is that the B anchors find impact. We see Ponchek getting a single kill. Hades gets a kill as well. They were the 2 B players. So what that allows is it slows it down. We saw a 3-on-2 advantage coming out from the WISLA side. The rotations come in really quickly. Unfortunately, for WISLA, they only hold on to 2 players staying alive, so it could come down into a pack or into a situation of like an instant reset. Look at the reserve, Jay. Even Sparrow is going to be on an XM going into round 5. Maybe play close ramp or Pop Dog. Try and get up close and personal somewhere.
Possibilities here.
Ooh.
Nades up are going to open up the round, though. Good damage to Spitty and Farven. Sparrow just sat back here with his XM, deciding his place here in the Pop Dog area. Respectable position as well, with the damage coming through. If a low HP player faces him, it's going to be an easy $900 buckshot.
They've really slowed it down. We saw the early utility coming into both Speedy and Faffen doing a fair bit of damage. Ooh, Sparrow the nade. I tell you what, if they follow up, they can really start to take him low. Trying to get control of Pop Dog. Sparrow's not moving at all. Oh, he's completely blind. Oh, but not a second kill. So much work coming out from the auto shotty.
What did I say? If a blind and damaged player faces that shotgun, it's an easy frag to get. But Snatchy gets the trades though. Dia doubles up. Snatchy will fall, and Hades with the AWP on scoping, the worst moment possible. And now the AK wraps up. Hades is a dead man. Ponchek out in the open in a 1-on-3. I don't think they saw him top of blue. Bomb gets thrown to the site now. He does see that. Spitty caught off guard unexpectedly, facing in against D in next 30 seconds. He has to stall for time here at this stage. They're both relatively low. He's getting info on the 2 players. Spray almost lines up, but doesn't connect anything to D. He gets the AWP shot and the round for Sprout.
Oh, for Hades, that looked like as uncomfortable as like scraping your nails on a chalkboard. Like the timing on that was so awkward from him. He unscopes, isn't able to find impact on the swinging Pop Dog player, and from there, Dia comes up absolutely massive. His entries have been fantastic with the AWP of all things to end out the round. And we spoke about the money being low. That's an instant reset. 4-1 up for the Sprout side on the T side. And for WISLA, they're giving them the early lead, Jay.
Vista chose the CT start and everything, so seeing them come up with this. Big start for the Sprout side. Not fantastic for Vista. Find some sort of response here, get the CT side in check. Dennis. Here in the legal at Mino, not connecting any shots though, so no damage or kills going away to CTs early. Flash over from Sprout should allow the Ivy entrance to come through. Further flashes coming in. Dennis going to be the man to exit out. Still tentatively facing though. They are definitely looking for a pick or two here. Ready for the pistols close. Jed Courier stopper takes that face in with the Deagle backing him up. Sparrow catches that bomb prop. That's actually a pretty big frag to find.
What?
And the pistols are turning it around. D to try and recover now. He's on for the 4K. No chance against Ponchek. He takes him down. And well, Sprout bottlenecked them in.
Oh man, that's just like we saw in that previous best of 3 how many times WISLA were the team that got ecoed, and now it's the other way. Sprout just losing so much contention to those Deagles and the upgraded pistols. Now, what made it really awkward, because obviously that bomb gets dropped outside of T-Con, and from there, that pulls attention away. Spirit's able to get a really sort of interesting angle from Sandwich to work with. And from there, where's the convert? That's a great second round to go up, and that's a way to get back in control on your CT side.
Jedka straight up on Spitty, takes him down, opens up the round. A fast play out from Sprout in towards the B bomb site, looking for their bomb plant, looking for any kills, and indeed Dia does find one. Bomb plant to be secured for the man. AKs and M4s moving in for the CTs. Farman's pressed so far aggressive, he's found himself another kill. And a man advantage for the T side here at Sprout.
They're saving, they're out of there.
Wow.
Whoa. That was over pretty quickly. They can't do anything. They have to fall back here. They've got a single kit. They have a fair bit of utility. And they're going to come back into this, Jay? Surely they're running out of time now.
Jedka on 21 points of health, and now they definitely will fall away. Dennis is going to push forward, though. He's looking for an exit. He's looking to put the hurt on for the Vista side. Hearing several sets of footsteps. Contact established against Mino. Smoke up for him. Dennis is going to push forward regardless. Couldn't hear the footsteps as well due to the bomb explosion, with both Jedka and Mino falling. Hades with the AWP, the only thing that remains. And the boom skin as well. And speaking of skins, you can get yourself some skins over at Hellcase by opening up some sick cases and getting some sick skins. Use codes MaltaV and MaltaV15 to try and see if you can get yourself involved here and open up some sick cases, get some sick skins only at our case partners at hellcase.com. 5-2 for Sprout. This is looking real good for them still.
Yeah, look, it really is. We're seeing a response, at least from WISLA, of getting a couple of AWPs, but it's going to be a glass cannon up for Spiro. Now, he did find a lot of impact, especially on Dust 2, and I was really keen to see the double AWPs coming out from WISLA, but they haven't found a great amount of success just yet. And pretty much even damage being found out through Pop Dog, but for Jedka's sake, he falls back, and that's instant control being found for the T's, but not without a pick being found from Hades.
Spitty to fall, 5 in the drop low.
Oh,
Snatchy with that scout that he held onto for so long in the early game, coming up with a good frag in this one as he holds onto it for another good round and opens up the kill counts as well for the T side.
Yeah, one thing that Snatchy's really brought to this Sprout side is just even his individual skill. I think his ceiling is so much higher than when he was playing on Virtus Pro. He's really come into his own. He's been a really solid AWPer for this Sprout side, and man, that scout shot was fantastic to at least find a response. Now, Dennis has made his way into Sandwich completely undetected, Jay.
Burst in.
Oh.
Ponchek goes down. Sparrow does take out Dennis to keep trades at a 3-on-3. The bomb can make its way to the B bomb site. Hades still watching the angle though. Locks out ramp. Farven moves forward. Smoke does go down, and Farven does get Jedka. Does not get the AWPers though. Both AWPs on retake. And a leg shot comes out from Hades to make the job a little bit easier. If only they had a HE to land that kill. In fact, they've got no utility whatsoever here. AWP shots in. Hades gets snatchy knowing he's low. Farven backed up to the default plant position. How long can he hold out for? How long can he stall the time? Does he see Sparrow? He doesn't. He's the footsteps behind him. Turns around 180 against Hades. Gets the headshot. But Sparrow gets the trade super quickly. And WISLA will find 3.
A good trade coming out from Sparrow, because it looked like for WISLA, they thought that he was trapped in towards oil. He was actually able to reposition to that default position. But a nice one-on-one trade to come out. Sparrow gets the defuse. Now, Sprout, they've got enough money to buy here. Snatchy will just be able to get that AWP with body armor. Oh, WISLA. We've gone back and forward a few rounds now, Jay. I think it's been 7 in a row where we've gone back and forward.
Well, it works good enough for the WISLA side to maintain control against Sprout. Obviously, their economy is starting to build up to a certain extent. The AWPs can stay in. But Sprout's economy with the extra money bonus is still going to get the AKs out for a full investment. Still 2 SMGs for WISLA. Sprout have a better buy. But WISLA going to keep Sprout held towards the reset here. And you know they're probably going to continue forcing investments because Jedka can come up with good kills on Dennis. In general, the T side have suffered a lot of damage.
Yeah, they really have. Oh, especially with Sparrow now answering back on a Fafen. Now, there are 2 players that are trying to slow walk out from Ivy. That's a big kill coming out from Dia to find a response, but he needs Snatchy to get more involved, Jay, because Snatchy's the really low HP player. He's only on 1 HP.
I mean, all players are low HP players. No one is above the 30 marker on the HP numbers. Molotov's out, flashes over, AK facing in. Sparrow is on 23, and he's held out towards heaven, and he's going passive for a good reason. Dia, Hades trading frag. Sparrow does fall. And 2-on-2. This SMG here for Ponchek. If he places himself right, if he goes up Ivy right now, he could find both players in a single spray. And an easy frag to take. Spitty aggresses too far forward against Hades. The Glock goes down. He wins out the fight against the AWP. And now they make their way into B. They know that Ponchek must be behind them.
What was that coming out from Speedy? He must have had the information that the AWP could have been playing around connector. The burst from the Glock. And now Ponchek's in the 1-on-2. Both players are incredibly low, but look how aggressive they are on the T side. They're trying to press up as far forward as possible. And there's even a player in towards CT. Ponchek has not been seen. He's running out of time, Jay. He's got a kit, but he needs to get a bit of a move on.
Is he in the blind spot? I think he may well be. But to make his way towards site, he's got to cross directly into their hands. Grabs that AWP and runs for it. No info on the low HP they really had for the T side, and therefore no chance to get the round together. Saving the AWP. No say in this regard. It will be 6-3 to the favor of Sprout. WISLA, once again, the economy is crippled. Once again, they're going to have to force buy.
It's getting really awkward because, Jay, Sprout are up 3-0, and now it's been 6 gun rounds, or at least forces in a row from both sides, back and forward, back and forward. We've not seen either team be able to find a streak of more than 1 round in a row. What was this? You never see the bursting Glock. It's very rare you see it, but you saw it there.
And it worked. So, fair play. Flashes in, nades up, snatching on 55 points of health to kick things off for the T side. Yorpa Snatchy looking down towards the old hell position, and towards Ivy in particular. Smoke up for Ponchek. Gonna find some sort of way in towards the B site play. Well, Sprout haven't quite gained the man advantage just yet. I mean, they faced in and lost a lot of HP for it, so resistance still to be held by WISLA at this stage, and the default's still in play from Sprout.
Slowing it down, HG. Oh, does a bit of damage onto Dennis. Not bad. But it's Pop Dog where I would say the majority of damage has been done, especially on these eco rounds. Jedka being forced back. It's going to be the double tower to go through. This is going to be a tough one for the CZ.
Snatch, he gets that kill to open up. Dropping down, Jedka is the casualty. Open up the round here. AWP, slight angle here towards Stopper. Sees Hades, unscopes at the wrong moment. The timing again, terrible for the AWP, but it works better for the AWP of the CT side. Hades returning to 4-on-4. Mino's going to start sneaking forward as well. Sees several, takes out Farvan, does damage to the player top of Blues, but he gets it a 3 versus 2 with his double up. And Dia and Speedy will close it out in the end. 2 CTs to find. They get them both simultaneously. And Sprout make their way up to position here, make their way right up to the point of the half victory. And WISLA probably going to have to eco and concede it to them.
And when I saw Train last from the Sprout side, it was against OG in Cologne, where they ended up picking Train, getting a 16-9 victory, starting T side and putting 10 rounds up. And they're certainly showing that they've got a very strong T side to work with. And for WISLA, finally we're getting into a situation where they've given up on the force buys. It's just going to be an eco from them. But Sprout have got the opportunity to go up 8-3 on their opposition's map pick, Jay.
Oh, Sparrow.
Ooh.
Come on, mate. Oh, you missed it. The double nades come in, take them both. And yeah, the good effort, but not to be. Simple stuff coming through, 2 versus 5. USP of Hades tries to contest. But against the Mac 10, the only reason why he's able to stay alive is because the range is not good for that weapon. 8 to the board. No Sprout. There's no way in for WISLA all in.
It really isn't. A couple of USPs, seeing if they can maybe find an overextending T player. Maybe Faffin with that Mac 10 might want to see if he can farm up a little bit of money. That's why you can see him going hunting out through Connector. But WISLA have found a tough job, especially in these gun rounds, of even building up their own economy. A couple of great kills towards the end there. 8 on the board for Sprout. And if I'm WISLA, I'm thinking, right, if we don't respond now, I don't think we respond at all on this map. They need to find a response. They need to get at least 5 rounds on CT. If they don't get 5 rounds, I think they're done. I think they're done at the turn of the half.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that respect. And Sprout, within only 2, are making 5 rounds the maximum that WISLA can get. I mean, right now the maximum is 7, but those are going to start falling away as time rolls on. Ponchek. Got Dia facing forward, looking for the kill on Hades. Nice with the Galil. Got 1 player around the corner, and Ponchek comes up with 1 as Jedka comes up with 2 out elsewhere on the map. Ponchek going to be pressured in by Farvan, 50 points of health. Jedka is also extremely low, and they can open up the B-bomb site. 3-on-2 situation, but they still walk out to A, and they fall apart. Jedka gets 3 kills. Farvan in a 1-on-1 against the M4. He's got a Galil, but 18 HP on this lone CT to deal with. And Jedka's got hard cover. He's inside. He knows where this bomb is. He knows where Farvan has to approach him from, or where he can approach him from. Peeking up towards the apartments, actually. Farvan could sneak in a bomb plant here.
Jedka's, I think, misreading this. I think he thinks he's the B player, which he was, but actually this could work out. If Faffin goes up, then this should be an easy kill from Jedka.
Does he make information noises? No, he doesn't.
What?
The timing could not be perfect for Farvan. Oh, sees the foot. Sees the foot. Where is he going to go about this? Kill on the lone man. Good burst up, not risking a knife, and appropriately so. A good clutch from Farvan to win 9 for the T side.
There was a TK somewhere in the mix. I remember we saw 2 kills from Jedka and 1 from Ponchek. But when that came up on the scoreboard, Jay, or the kill feed, it was still a 3-on-3. So there must have been a TK somewhere. I'm not sure who it was on the CT side, but someone was TK'd, which actually didn't get 3 kills up for the CTs. I didn't realize that until after I saw the kill feed and thought, hang on a minute, it can't be possible because there's still 3 players on T alive.
That was been Jedka that got that frag then, because you got a 2K over on the bomb site. 1 for the replays, 1 for the demos. Dennis comes up with 2 picks on Mino and Jedka. Farvan swings on Hades as well out of the pop dog position. And yeah, 5-on-2 situation. This is going to be A simple 10th for Sprout, and now 5 is the maximum number of rounds the WISLA can win. You said if they can't get anything, any more than 5 rounds, if they can get any less than 5 rounds on this T side, and on this CT side, I should say, then it's going to be a very awkward time for the Polish squad.
No, it really is. They're putting a lot of hurt on Sprout. They're looking really confident. Adia's got 17 kills. Like, he's just fragging out absolutely crazy. And consistently just finding impact round after round. They can't catch a break. 10-3. Really, the scoreline's getting out of hand now. And yeah, I'm just having a look at the logs. It was Jedka that took down Spiro in that last round. So that slight little mistake that came out from WISLA could have completely turned that round sort of on their head. But the eco comes out in this, and they don't find really much at all. Going into the following gun round, they can go for the double AWPs once again. Look at Mino, who was, what, the top fragger against Saw in that best 3? He's 2-12, Jay.
And once again, you look at the entire board, you compare the numbers, and they're just like so dire for WISLA. Not quite a case that the top fraggers are doing worse than the bottom fraggers, because, you know, Sprout have got relatively no numbers of their own right, but the top guys are just having an easy time about this because they can just easily dominate, taking control of these rounds. They're entering so effectively against WISLA, this CT side that doesn't know how to deal with the aggression of Sprout. Damage done to Dia, and Dennis will open up some tag damage, but no kills on the CT board as of right now. Dennis gets tagged to 50, so again, they're working on just lowering the numbers bit by bit. Got to land someone to 0, though. Sprout have burst into the A bomb site. Slow things down. Mino comes up with a kill on Dennis. Dia backed up. Speedy gets pawn check. Meanwhile, on the bomb site, sees the player up. Heaven Jedko trades it back. 3-on-3. Gets up to 2. Dia trades it back to 2-on-2. AWP sees him behind E-Box. And Snatchy is all that remains. Now it's all 1-on-2. Bomb on his back. AWP in his hands. A site seems to be the play. If he can take out Hades, or if he can take out Sparrow, that might be the way in. Footsteps heard. Did he see him? I think they think it's a B play.
Now that's a bit of information from Snatchy, though.
Oh, he's seen.
Oh, he is. Oh, the wallbang even comes through to do a bit of damage. That gives the info up for Snatchy where the com player is, and now it's a 1-on-1.
Snatchy with the AWP clutch potential. They did this previously. Sprout, can they do it again? AWP held out towards Old Hell. Bomb is planted from him if he makes his way out past the back of green. Hades with no kit as well. 10 seconds to the stick. Giving no info away to Snatchy. Making his way towards site right about now. Trying to get under the bomb here. Taps it once. Oh! Snatchy with a face. And a frag that seems and looks so easy for him. Another clutch for Sprout to keep them on track. 11-3 now. WISLA have lost minimum damage.
And they haven't needed him. They really haven't. I mean, you look at the amount of kills he's found. He's found 6 kills, 3 in that last round. And that's just because everyone else has been stepping up. And when Snatchy's necessary, he clutches out 1-on-2. That's a huge, huge round. To think that he was down on 29 HP after the wallbang came out from Sparrow. Unbelievable. What a great clutch to come out from Sprout, and that's got to hurt. That's really got to hurt the WISLA side. Fast into Pop Dog. The auto shotty is going to fire the first, but looking for a little bit too more.
Well, they'll be happy that Farthen broke away from the main T-side force, because if they had all gone with him, then that would have been a disastrous sort of push coming through from Hades. Mino dropping down, seeing the AWP, getting legged for it as well. Snatchy's been so good with these AWP faces. Somehow managing to find contact and kills as well. It's beautiful stuff from the T side so far.
Yeah, it really is. And the split into the A bomb site looks to be on the cards. 2 players out from Ivy and 2 from T-Con. And WISLA not even really playing anyone on the site itself. You've got Mino out from the con rotator. You've got Ponchek so deep in through sort of CT spawn and a Pop Dog player. So this allows Dia to just walk into the site itself.
But he didn't check the site on the close range angle, so Mino can come up with a kill. 1 HP for him. Still getting away. And the CT's push up. Jedko with another good frag. 2's left standing. Dennis trades it to a 2-on-2. AWP of Snatchy misses a shot this time. Makes his way up to the site knowing where one player is at least. Molotov's going to try and siphon off his opponent. Mino, 1 point of health. He's dead now. Turns around. Oh, Dennis sees Sparrow next. Ponchek swings out, gets low HP player with the SMG. Not only AWP of statue, all that remains. Faces, gets a pistol shot, and secures the final round. 12-3 at the half. Sprout looking good.
Looking better than good, Jay. That's unreal. I don't know how Dennis wasn't traded there from Pop Dog. And that's things that when rounds start to spiral out of control, you even feel as if sometimes your individual skill starts to go down. And it just hurt. There were so many opportunities for WISLA. I want to say that they probably should have been able to win out of the rounds we saw from them, at least in that first half, maybe 5 or 6. I think they had at least a handful of rounds, Jay, that they could have converted and didn't. Well, that's a bit one-sided, but you can kind of understand it, right?
A bit.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a tad.
WISLA were not favourites coming into this series, coming into this lower bracket in general. And now here for the CT pit. Oh, it's Dennis and Farben mopping up kills. Headshots are plenty. Sparrow spotted towards Old Hell. Gets damage to one, a kill on the second. Farben facing away playing anti-flash. Swings out to get the kill alongside Snatchy's assistance. And it's all left to Mino now on a 1-on-3. PG50 set and ready. Hoping to take some kills, but not a round that he can win from here.
No, he can't even escape, right? He can't even get to Pop Dog. Faffen, just absolutely deleting. What a round from Sprout. And it started off with Jedka finding the opening pick. They had the man advantage, Jay. And then out of nowhere, it just got shut down at Ivy. It got shut down from T-Con. Dennis just spamming the Ivy smoke. I don't know how he found a couple of kills. Like, what even is this? Oh, well, it is what it is. And for WISLA, they can't really force because they didn't really get a lot of impact and they didn't get a bomb plant.
Yeah, nothing much for WISLA. They've got to go eco in this one because they need the money for a buy-up. Nice nade coming in from D. Could have landed a bit closer, but does this damage. Snatchy and D are going to clean up with the $600 SMG frags. Farven down towards Pop Dog. Gets a kill on Mino. And any of the opportunities here set for the T side are just going to get mopped the hell up. Farven will have more pick. Spiddy will close out the job. 2 rounds to go for Sprout. WISLA. Buy up with the AKs, utility in, limited sets, limited chances, limited opportunities right now for this T side. They have to win this round, else it's done, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. WISLA have just been simply outclassed on this first map. That's all you can really say about it. We've seen Sprout clutching, their entering ability has just been phenomenal. And they've just very much limited the mistakes on their own part and making a lot of mistakes for their opposition, or at least forcing them to come out. WISLA on 5 AKs, utility, round. That's what they need, a round right here, Jay.
The SMG. Oh, challenges Ponchek. To frag away, Jedka gets Snatchy next for a 2-for-1. WISLA do get the trades together. Dennis wins us out, though, to a 3-on-3 once again. Mino falls, but he drops to 5 points of health. They've left the A site entirely open, though. Wraparounds have got to come through from the CT backup. Dennis needs some support, and Speedy will be his man.
This actually might work out quite nicely, because Spiro's going to tell the information that the A-bomb site's open, but there's actually 2 players towards backhaul that can wrap around from Ivy. This time it gets really awkward, because the information's come through. The A-bomb site's clear, Jay.
Barvin's playing contact over in the apartment. Speedy caught looking the wrong way, and Dennis can land some headshots, can potentially take the kills away, but on 5 HP, he'll be so susceptible to trade. It's best for him to save the weapon. Same thing for Farben. If he can find one of the AKs that were dropped out here towards Brown Halls, and yes, he will find one of them, so 4th for WISLA, all important must-win round, and it goes their way. Can they find any more out of this? Can they take the AK away from Dennis? Yes, they can. Farben, last left alive.
Saving onto this AK is going to be vital, but at the same point, the cities have got a build-up economy. At least it's decent, where for WISLA, it's not at all. So Faffen can get away with an exit kill. It actually works out really nicely. Oh, not going to happen. AK going down. Now, if Sprout if they want to be cheeky, they can just eco here and get a strong buy up into the next to get the AWP out, or they could just force the issue and say, right, we're just going to force them and just destroy them immediately. It looks as if, Jay, they're going to be ecoing because we haven't seen the buy come out yet. It's going to be a half buy, okay. They're wanting to get a strong one out into the next, and it kind of shows that they're at least giving like a bit of respect to their opposition, to say the least, rather than just forcing and being like, yeah, no, we'll just end it here.
Oh, look at the activity out for Snatchy, Ponchek and Spitty trade back and forth. Dia finds the bomb planter, got a rifle. One player backs up, Dennis with his back turn, spray through, gets them both. They recover the scenario. Damage potential was very high there for the CT side, but in the end, they don't come up good there. 1 on 3 now for Farven, left with the scout on his backed up towards the connector area. No info on the players coming in towards the ramp position. I don't think he can hear from that far away. He can hear now, though, so he'll know that they're on the B site. The bomb plant will be secured, and there's not much he can do about it from here. This will be a 5th for WISLA. Was an eco from Sprout, though. They've got money to invest it into the next round. Any damage that Farman can take will be fantastic, but couldn't get the kill on Mino. Therefore, 3 alive. The economy can build.
Now, get that AWP out and a snatch it. I know Diha, when he was playing with Taz on RC and Aristocracy, he used to do a little bit of secondary AWPing, so I've seen him time to time pick it up every now and then for Sprout. And they want to opt against it, though, going into round 20, so it's just going to be the M4s to back up the single AWP. Hades no stranger to the Krieg that we saw in that last round too. Sprout, though, you've just got to think all it really comes down to is that one good round to get them to 15, and oh, that's a great opening to come out from Hades. That takes down the AWP. That means that now Fafa has to pick it up.
And pick it up he will. Just something here with a big green gun if possible. Snatchy is not transitioned his AWPing skill from the T side. A bit of a struggle for him so far in this second half. It's Farven that does turn it around with some success, though. Hades to drop, M4 close, spray through on Sparrow, 37 points of health. Mino takes Spitty, Ponchek gets Farven, Dennis finds one response, drops that bomb, turns around against Jedka, but Jedka still connects his spray, and Dia is all that remains. 1 on 3, Molotov against his position. Trying his way back to stop it, they heard the tag though. Swings on Mino, Mino gets the final kill.
I'll tell you what, that's actually really impressive. That's a very confident round coming out from WISLA, playing around those smokes really nicely, trading out very strong, winning some great aim duels too, and being able to just capitalize on isolating some of those CT members away from their teammates and trying to force like 2-on-1 fights rather than 1-on-1s. And that's really what I want to see from WISLA, even with their backs up against the wall, Jay. I wanted to see them playing with freedom, you know, a little bit more loose. The fact that you just see Hades wide swinging out from T-Con to find that opening kill onto Con. And just being, yeah, a little bit loose, because they've got to realize the fact that they don't really have a lot of opportunities to come back into this game.
Dennis finds a pick, grabs an AK, falls out of dodge. Hades will get his back up in Spitty over towards the Ivy presence. CT aggression in general across the long ranges of the map. Brown Horse had some contention for the CTs. That started to aggress further forward for Snatchy. No contest on the bomb site directly, so they can get a bomb plant here. Jedko will find Dennis. The AK of Mino does drop out of play once again. So 4 on 3. Snatchy might be ready for a backstab here with his P250, the Deagle set for Farven. Just couldn't land Sparrow, so close. But no cigar for the CT side.
Dealing with that eco really nicely. Only one player going down of Mino. Outside of him, seems like everyone else is going to be able to stay alive. A backstab attempt coming out from Snatchy out through Ivy. And picking up maybe the T-side weapon. I think that's what they're looking for. May have got thrown over the fence, potentially.
Ooh.
Wow, they actually get away with 3. What? They get away with 3 kills. One was down to the bomb explosion. They get an AWP and an AKJ.
All right, that's not a bad eco round for Sprout.
Oh my goodness. How do they get that much? That's just, it's hard to watch.
They have let the lead start to slip a little bit against WISLA. Now
that is true.
7, once again, the T-side forces the rifles to deal with here, but the damage and the little bit of build-up could actually work for them in the long term, because obviously the eco coming through, getting 3 picks, means it's going to be lopsided on the investment for the next round, assuming Sprout can win it. AK set the Farben ready for first contact against the first player that drops down. Nade against him will do some damage, and nade back from the CTs does not do as much. And they're set up to the brown halls here for the Ts.
Going for a straight execution by the looks of things, and only a single player. There is going to be a rotator coming out from Fafin, but the AWP is like nowhere near to be seen from Snatchy. The rotates need to come in pretty quickly, and they're starting to get pretty passive, and Jedka opens up with 2 kills. That's an instant save. This is going to be an 8th round now for WISLA.
Yeah, just went onto Dia, taking him down, the only main defensive of the B-bomb site. And everything is going right for WISLA. Okay, when did Train become T-sided? I realize that T-side meta is currently the big thing right now in Counter-Strike, but just, man, Sprout should by all accounts be on like map point at least, if not won the map by now. But WISLA, again, getting a change of pace, and they're making it work for them.
Yeah, they're looking really decent. They're looking really solid, Jay. They've been very impressive these last few rounds. Jedka just opens up that side, gets 2 fantastic kills. All right, give him a bit of credit. And 5 in a row now for WISLA, really trying to bring this back to just as close as possible. Even getting to double digits, it's at least going to be something going forward. Now, they will be able to rebuy the investment, and you've got to think, do they go for double orbs? Like, do they want to try something a little bit different? Because outside of the pistol and the anti-eco conversion, that's, oh my goodness, no, it's not even the double orb, Jay. It's the Dak. It's the auto sniper. It's time for business.
Not a weapon I was expecting to see when Sprout are currently lost on momentum, but here we are. Now would be a great time to turn that auto sniper onto the brown halls wall, because that could be some wall bang damage right there against Ponchek and Jedka. Dia, M4, alongside Snatchy here, ready to contact and receive, but no such presence found by them at this stage. Heavy aggression comes in from the CT side, but again, they do not get away with any kills early on.
You can feel as if that Dia really wants to overextend, but if he does, he's probably going to get punished for it. A lot of aggression elsewhere on the map too. Dennis is even looking around, getting aggressive through T-Con control of Olaf. And now Dia starts to move. Ponchek's holding the angle. How does Dia win out that fight? An M4 versus an AK, and it works out for the CTs.
Ponchek going down. Sparrow going down as well. And this finds that kill into the T-Con area. Mino challenging Spiddy. Dennis gets the kill back to return to a double. 3 or 4 versus 2, I should say. Now making it 1. Snatchy finds Mino around the corner. Smoke will clear. Oh, and Hades almost found the flick towards his man, but Snatchy with the eagle out gets a 2K. And the auto sniper was not needed because the rifles held the defensive. Map point for Sprout taken at long last here.
Now, you know what? They actually might not know that they have an auto sniper because it didn't shoot a single bullet in that last round, Jay. So WISLA might actually not know that they're rocking one. I'm hoping it finds some impact. It would be really disappointing to see Sprout getting to 16 with their auto sniper, not even with a tag, Jay. It's just the sound. That's what makes it so loving. The sound. Oh, well, it's gone.
5 on 4, 4 on 4. Snatchy with his own sniper gets the trades back on Hades. The T's are going to swarm into the bomb site. 1 player back at Old Hell. Then it's with a face-up. Spiddy takes up Mino instead from the heaven position. Trade potential is there, but Spiddy still gets his double with support from Dennis at stopper. He's known. Ponchek can punish him and turn around for a second kill. Spiddy's so low that Jek can get an easy frag. And Snatchy left alone now towards Ivy. He's a known. And the flashbang will give away his position. The bomb plant will come through towards the B site. Quick rotations out. Ponchek, the closest player though. 12 HP being seen out here. The AWP will get swapped towards. He'll hear that player rotating out position. Will scope up. Try look to him back at the red position. No info on Jedka, the high HP player, the bomb planter out at the marshmallow area. Snatchy with that quick scope flick now gets us to 1-on-1. Incendiary's out, flashbang's over, but Jedka finds the timing and Jedka finds the round.
Oh, Snatchy. You felt as if he was going to be out of clutch again. That shot was just disgusting. But how do they bring this back, Jay? Like, There were so many kills that just came out of nowhere for the T side. Yeah, Snatchy hit a great shot here onto Ponchek. But really, for WISLA, they probably shouldn't have been able to bring that back, Jay. And that probably should have been a 16th round for Sprout right there.
There's fast out from Jedko, trying to look for the opening kill here towards the opposition. Can't see anything, he's suppressed. M4 swing, M4 kill. Big start for Fartham. Will this translate over for Sprout? Got WISLA making their way in the brown halls. Oh, pick from Dia comes through, second face, second kill. Bomb gets dropped, he's looking for more, but Hades finds the trades. His efforts, though, have brought a 4-on-2 scenario for Sprout. Bomb site may be under control now for the T's, but WISLA got to fend off the full force of the retake.
Need to try and get that bomb plant too. Hades not really planning for anywhere. Not towards default, a difficult plant spot, but Mino, oh, he's going to be able to return to bring it back into a 2-on-2. And Faffin's out towards Oil. This could be big. This could be massive.
My God.
And it's down to a 1-on-1. This could be another big clutch to come out from the WISLA side. Hades up against Dennis, and he's so low. Another round goes the way of WISLA. A 4-on-2 advantage for Sprout on the retake and the rotation from A.
They're coming back. It's Dust 2 all over again. But this time they're on for overtime. Dia doing a fantastic job there with the AWP, but still, Mino forcing the issues here against Spiddy. I think it's Father next. That swing was perfect. It basically won them right there and then. AKs and Orps out. Very fast play in from the T side, knowing that Sprout have got nothing to work with. This is a half buy from the CT forces.
WISLA have got to realize in a round like this, it's still important to keep as many players alive as possible. Dia and a couple of players of his teammate, they're all starting to push him through the brown halls. There's only one player on the bomb side itself on A.
Kill against Fartham will open up that A site as well. They'll realize that Sprout are after stunning here. Plant will be secured. And Ponchek will lean his way towards T-Con. As soon as he sees these players, though, he knows he's going to be relying on his teammates to find those trades later. AK up, sees 2, sprays 2, Molotov back in. Stop them from making their way out. Deagle spam is only going to go so far. AK Amino sees a player back line. Snatchy on 23. But in general, there's no real chance here for Sprout to be able to do much of anything. They should just get overwhelmed. And WISLA will get to 11 within 4 of the map point lead that Sprout have gained.
No, they're really bringing this back. This has been just a tremendous T side. That's all you can really say. Sprout, I think they've got at least a few opportunities that really should have gone their way and haven't. This is quite poor from them. You would think that for a team of Sprout's caliber, they should have been able to end this ages ago. This probably should have been like a 16-6, like 16-7, not getting to double digits and maybe even further. Now, we've seen the double orbs, we've seen the auto sniper, but what's the call here? They're taking a tactical pause just to take a moment, a bit of a breather, just to realize what has happened after finding a 14-3 scoreline at one point, Jay.
I kind of forgot that 14-3 was the end result, actually, like, you know, prior to this comeback.
Yeah, like
Sprout
it's big.
should have had this wrapped up a long, long time ago. Like, just look at the amount of orange we're seeing on the board right now. Great T-side from Sprout, may well be a great T-side from WISLA all the same. Tactical pause has come through for Sprout. Double up set up in from Dennis and Stachy. Out of the gate, flashes over, farther in towards Pop Dog very early on in this one. They put quite a bit of utility to commit here from the T's, but they're going to get suppressed by one incendiary, and a follow-up from Spinny is going to try and drive them even further out of the T-Con area. Bomb yet to commit. WISLA realize that Sprout are going to change things up. Backing up on the default positions.
It looked like for WISLA they wanted to early commit out from T-Con, at least had a bit of presence to do so, but they end up just using their utility and backing off. 3 players set up to this B bomb site. This is a very heavy stack over to B from Sprout, getting a bit of a read of an early B play. But for the looks of things of WISLA, they don't seem too interested at B for the meanwhile. Got a couple of players around the brown halls towards the top of Pop, but they look like they're setting up at least for a split into A.
Rays continuing to come through from the default positions. WISLA can't quite find the opening kill of the round. 35 seconds, they're going to have to go towards the commitment. No one has the bomb control just yet. It's still out in T-Con. They're going to have to act upon this A-site play. No pop control. No Ivy control. Utility to get set up here. The smokes do go down. They're going to hear that coming through. Molotovs in Dia, starting to fall back out position. M4 for Spitty. Takes out that one frag. 4 to go. He gets a double. Can't quite turn on the triple. Farvan's there to support him, though, from Pop Dog area. Swings on, gets another kill, and makes it a triple kill of his own to close it out for Sprout. 16 to 11, taking map 1. WISLA's map pick goes the way of the German core.
And it took a while, but that was the expected outcome. And a little bit surprising to see the call there coming out from WISLA, considering how aggressive they've been in the mid round, that they slow it down like that. You got 20 seconds on the execution in the last round, and it just gets absolutely just picked apart from Speedy and Fafin. So look, from WISLA, I'm really pleased they allowed the comeback to come through, but it was done from the get-go. The fact that you were down like 3 to 12 in the half, you lost pistol, lost the anti-eco, no matter how strong that comeback was going to be, it was only going to be a matter of time until Sprout got to 16.
Absolutely, you know, like it's just the case that I was kind of surprised that they let it go so far as to go 14-3 up to now losing, to losing so many rounds to get to a 16-11 victory in the end. Like that could have been so much more one-sided from Sprout. So I'm not sure if that was them making mistakes that again WISLA were able to punish, or whether just the change of the pace seems to be a fire underneath WISLA, because this is like the second time that's happened so far today, and from the last time it happened as well, WISLA were able to swing back in the series and start to take it over against the likes of Saw. The question is that going to repeat against Sprout going into map 2?
Yeah, look, it's a tough one. I don't think it will. I think that they can still hold contention. I was really impressed with their T side. I think that they mentally at least showed up. One thing that's always really tough is when you're down 3 to 14, you can give up. Like, you can seriously, even for teams at this kind of a caliber, could say, right, we're done. Like, yeah, we could just mess around until we finish off this game. But they had the mental standpoint of, we're not done until it's done. We saw some really great clutches, which is great to see. We saw some big rounds coming out, reading the game incredibly well. So look, for WISLA, it was a slow start in that map up. There's no doubt about it. But at least they had a pretty decent recovery towards the end there.
For the second time today in the best of threes, WISLA KRAKOW will lose their map pick. It's going on to Nuke once again for them. Sprout's pick, they were able to upset Soren earlier today. Let's see if they can upset the German core. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this very short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Malta Vibes, where I'm solo casting because apparently Dwayne likes fish lasagna, as he revealed 5 seconds before he went live. He does not deserve the opportunity to cast the rest of this best of 3 had between Sprout and WISLA. I mean, yeah, like obviously for those of you who might not be aware, we are into map 2 of our decided a best of 3 in this one. Dwayne, welcome back to the show. Definitely undeservingly so, but yes, Sprout winning map 1 of Train. WISLA's pick going against them, going over to Nuke now, the pick of the Sprout side. They've already won it once today, but they did lose it earlier in the best of 1 against Sprout on the opening matchup of this group stage.
Yeah, look, I think Nuke's going to be a tough one coming out from WISLA. It was at least a decent result, and you've got to think if they can do a 16-9 loss, at least in the best of 1, then maybe they can at least get to try and maybe double digits going into this best of 3. But for Sprout, like, their Nuke has been just absolutely stellar in recent times. We've seen them taking down the likes of OG, Harvu, Big, Namega. So, you know, there's some big names there. And what's the scariest factor about this Sprout side is how much success they find on the T side of Nuke. And we even saw that on Train in the first half.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, it's surprising. I mean, like, I don't know how surprising you call it these days now, because like you don't often see like a T side, or traditionally you don't often expect to see the T side of Nuke go well. But here we are with some great T sides being posted up by teams on that T side. We saw WISLA have a good T side a little bit earlier on today. So, you know, I'm not even sure if their CT start is going to mean much in the grand scale of things, when in theory they could just rush tactics and potentially make something work against Sprout.
Yeah, look, I think at least for WISLA, they would have had a little bit of time, obviously not a massive amount, but maybe to sort of think, all right, what went wrong in that best of 1? Obviously, they wouldn't have had time to look through the demo and what have you, because they had to play their lower bracket game, but they certainly could have had a bit of an opportunity to sort of realize the fact of where they've got punished, where their weaknesses were, and maybe an idea on how they want to try and capitalize that going in at least to this next map of Nuke in the series. But the one thing that puts a lot of pressure on the situation is they can't make mistakes. They're already a map down in the series, and this is twice now in this best of 3 and the last against Saw. They lost their opening map pick, Jay.
But they got to remember the positives of that respect, you know, in the best of 3 against Saw, you know, they actually lost their map pick, won the next map, and then won the map after that fact. And considering that both the next maps are also maps that you think Sprout could defeat WISLA KRAKOW on, it could well be an opportunity for these boys to turn something back over, again, an upset sort of victory circumstance. So, I mean, given the way that they performed on Nuke against Saw, like, I'm not sure how much that was down to WISLA being a good team and how much of that was down to Saw making mistakes. Because we saw a lot of that over from that last map up here. And while Sprout were making a couple of mistakes that led to that big comeback over on Train, I don't know if those mistakes will be just as prominent here on Nuke, which to me seems like it probably is a bit more of a better map for them.
Yeah, look, I don't think the mistakes would come out. I think a little bit came down to a bit of complacency. We saw like the auto sniper coming out for Faf, and I think it got to a point where they thought that they would be able to edge out really easily, and the fact was they weren't. So, look, for Sprout, they will sort of realize towards the end of that Train game to say, right, you know, we probably could have closed out 16-5, 16-6. We didn't, but we need to make sure we're being a lot tighter going into Nuke. So jumping into the knife round, Jay, I certainly think that whatever side Sprout start on, whether it's T or CT, I don't think it's going to make a big difference in the world, because these guys are strong on both sides.
Well, Malta Vibes, a reminder to you all, is brought to you by Gaming Malta at Home of Gaming Excellence here as we go to our knife round, as you mentioned, over on Nuke. If WISLA can do the impossible again. I'm not hedging my bets on it, Dwayne, but we'll see them get their choice aside. It seems to be a start to CT. So getting on that defense early may well find themselves in with a bit of an opening half that they can work with, I think.
Yeah, there's certainly a chance. You've got to think too, especially on that CT side, we didn't get to see a massive amount of impact. There wasn't really a big fragger for WISLA. Certainly on T, we did start to see Hades come alive, so there is potentially an opportunity for him to find a little bit of impact on the CT side. But it really starts off, Jay, whether they can get off to a good start. We're seeing util coming up for both sides. The odds over at LootBet are still favoring the Sprout side. So if you do want to get involved in those fantastic odds, you can check out all the links underneath the Twitch channel and the Twitch banners below. Sprout look like they're going to go for something quick, Jay, into the upper bomb site, or maybe even a vent dive, and it will be with the bomb going down.
Now Sparrow dropping Dennis, opening things up. They do make their way down those vents areas. The bomb on the back of Dia now picked up and rotated into the B bomb site here. He's part of the decon presence. Mino gets Dia down though, dropping that bomb in the open. Jedka swings on Snatchy, and Sprout suddenly in a 5-on-2, losing all manners of control. Vista with a very nice confident start here on the CT side. Father to try fight back, get something back to return on the A site, but still a 2-man advantage as Polchek takes him down. Spiddy is all that's left.
No, we saw Sparrow answering that first kill, going in for the vent dive for Sprout, but from there we saw a lot of gooshes coming out, a lot of damage done to the city side, but not really any trades to come out. And Spiddy, a 1-on-4, bomb control in favor of the CTs. Not really much that he can do here. Maybe see if he can just make the round expensive, see if he can take as many players down on the city side as possible. Oh, that looked unbelievably awkward. We saw Hades surviving on 1 HP there, even getting the reload across and the kill. That's quite acceptable.
There you go, pistol. Going the way of WISLA. Big start for this T side. Of course, the force playback for Sprout with no bomb plant bonus means that, of course, there's going to be Tech 9s and the pistols alike. With Kevlar coming through, utility set from the Sprout forces. Fast play in towards the A site, maybe their best opportunity here to get a bomb plant or trying to overwhelm the CT forces. They aren't checking the central part of the site. I guess they kind of got caught off guard by that, but still, 2 picks traded back for 2 on the CT camp. Eventually, Ponchek is overwhelmed, so Sprout getting the man advantage, probably going to secure the bomb plant in a couple seconds' time. Damage done by the nades. The scout thinking there's a player close. Little does he know Varvin's there. Spotted him as he scoped in, got that headshot. Mino finds the secondary kill, and Hades will double up. The bomb plant is secured, but it won't be enough for Sprout.
Oh my goodness, that shot was incredible coming out from Hades. Now he's really starting to feel it. Those couple of kills from the scout were fantastic. The read and the fact that someone might start pressing him on the main smoke. And for Sprout, it looked pretty decent there. They had a 3-on-2 advantage. They got the bomb plan in. Oh, what a shot from Hades, and a response from Mino too to try and back him up.
Honestly, if he had missed that shot, that whole round would have gone a completely different way. The
100%
complexion of WISLA's follow-up is all down to a single bullet. The CTs, they do concede a bomb plant, so for Sprout, they can afford a force buy here. AK is on 2 individuals, 3 Galil's in play for Spiddy, Dennis, and Snatchy. And out towards the lobby position into the outside control. Very fast outside control. Sparrow is here in aggressive form to try and counter it. Dennis downstairs into the secret area. Farvan, AK set out towards the inside area, hoping to hold presence on the A bomb site as the bomb commits towards B.
Oh, Sparrow, the timing on this. That's the bomb
man.
dropped, and it doesn't fall down through the stairs, Jay. They need to go back up to recollect that. Sparrow's going to have a tough time in the trade up coming through. Dia's going to be able to bring it back into a 4-on-4, but the information there from WISLA.
They should know it's going to be a B commitment at this stage. There's no real two ways about it. I mean, in theory, they could rotate back out of Secret and make their way on towards the A site. There's a player up in Squeaky that could theoretically do that. And knowing that they made their way down towards Secret, I mean, it just feels like common sense at this stage. Farvan can wrap around a backstab, especially if they draw their attention with an execution. He could take out the Orpa of Hades and continue to wrap around against a CT retake. But D is still up here in Secret control with the bomb, and he's making his way towards A.
No, they're trying to split into upper. And Fafin hasn't seen anyone get aggressive out through Squeaky Hut or even through ramp just yet. Now, when contact gets made from main, there is a chance for Hades to go down if Fafin's still holding the angle. Timing's everything, though.
Orp ready for Hades. 24 seconds. Good shot for the first. Back in against Dia. Drops him. Dennis and Farvan, last 2 players. Farvan, shoulder baits out the shot, gets the kill, but 13 seconds to get the bomb to the site, and it's got to be an A commitment. Dennis wrapping around way too slow for the backstab. Galil coming in, dealt with by Mino. Farvan got a potluck it. And he goes down to the FAMASTA saying 3-0 start for WISLA. Sprout, good efforts, but just being shut down by a couple of good players from the CT side.
That's big from Hades, and the fact is that Fafen doesn't see anything. You know, he's watching out for the aggression out from ramp, and he doesn't see anything. Now, what kind of interested me there for Sprout, rather than just splitting outside and through main and trying to work with Fafen in lobby, they bring the bomb all the way back in through T-Spawn into lobby itself, and it just wastes so much time. Hades is able to get a great couple of kills with that AWP. He's really looked impressive on the CT side, and for WISLA, getting off to a 3-0 start, you couldn't ask for a better start for them. Absolutely.
Brilliant stuff coming in. Sparrow going to continue it here on the half-by round with the opening kill on Spitting. Dia is also down pretty low. CT's just on the good start. On the good stuff. Sprout really have just no way into this one. Deagles trying their best to find some frags. They're just doing damage at best to Hades and Sparrow, and not even much, you know. No headshots being found at this moment. Leaning towards the ramp control. Mino's ready to take contact. Farben does finally find a kill, but Hades trades out 2 frags before being traded back by Farben. Bomb on his back, M4 in his hands. Could rotate, get a bomb plant to B. That may be their best case, but there's already rotations coming in. 1 player down at double doors in observation. Plant back open. This could be denied. Oh, just goes down in time. So bonus money for Sprout, given the fact it was a half-buy. That is actually going to aid them going into the next rifle.
I think Ponchak will be pretty disappointed there. I think he got a little bit awkward with the timing. Probably should have been able to deny that bomb plan. Just waiting for them to maybe pick up some kits and some rifles or whatever was dropped over. A 4-0 start coming out for the WISLA camp. And for Sprout, considering the eco, they actually get a lot of investment out of it. 2 kills and a bomb plant, really happy stuff. But they do need to deal with the AWP going into round 5 of Hades. That's been reinvested through.
Big sniper rifles for both sides. Again, Sprout with the bomb plant bonus. The investment will look real solid and real good. Smokes down towards Cross. Nades up from Sparrow, looking on for a decent amount of tag damage on towards Dennis. Only 89 points of health. He's got so much left for him. No gap in the smoke either, so Sparrow can't punish a player for crossing out towards Secret. Dennis makes his way downstairs very early on here for Sprout.
He wasn't silent about that, but they could maybe try and pull some distractions away. Dennis, what a wide swing! Deals with the AWP of Hades, and that's an answer in to try and bring the bomb to lower if they want.
Meanwhile, Farben's found a kill up on the upper side, so at 5-on-3, Sparrow will find that trade. Snatchy caught off guard by Ponchak, who sprays through. Sparrow gets 2 frags. Dennis finds that trade once again. Flashbangs on towards the site. Still got Ponchak in the back here. Behind the 2 silos, got to worry about the several positions where the C's can sneak in from. Mino's going to start taking face to the AWP. Gun barrel seen. Oh, he snuck past. They think they're safe. Dennis dealt with. Turns 180 for the second. And Mino played that to perfection. How do you counter that?
You can't. That was just so well played from Mino. Great trigger discipline there to find a couple of kills, and they'll have no idea how that happened. Timing's everything, but Speedy now turns into the 1-on-1. He can drop into the vents. But he doesn't have the information. Now he's heard the footstep, the timing. Oh, the peek coming out from Speedy after such a sick play coming out from Mino. Doesn't work out to win the round, Jay. How disappointing.
Such a good flank as well, man. Like, how, like, I asked you how you counter it. You said you don't. And it's like, well, the direct play, sure, but the trades and isolated 1v1s given up to the T side. The first for Sprout, kicking things off on their half. Orbs in, SMG for Ponchak, Snatchy straight up with the contact pick opportunity. Won't find anything out of Squeak Door though. No one's facing him directly. Outside control for Dennis, probably going to realize that there's a garage player here. But very little info being given up. It's just damaged up the Sparrow, the glass cannon AWP, and nothing else.
Yeah, it makes it awkward, that AWP taking a bit of damage. A spam coming through, getting very, very close to spawn check. A Sprout being able to convert their first round on team. They've got a decent amount of bomb plants so far in these last few rounds, so an opportunity to really start to build up the money line. A force coming in from WISLA means that it's going to be a Deagle and at least an MP9 on for Ponchak and Mino. Sprout, they are so slow in taking this map control. A single or a couple of lurks outside and trying to take some ramp control. They've got so many options on what they can do here.
Deagle and Mino tagging up. Trying to take down Snatchy. Only goes so far with it. 56 HP, the man stays alive for the most part. Dia swings up and gets Sparrow's headshot nice and easy. The challenge on Hades also goes well for Dennis. Mino can trade. Ponche comes up with a second kill. Back and forth from the CT side. 2-on-2, they've got bomb control. 20 seconds, then he's going to run straight in. Jenka takes him down. Dia once again left in a 1-on-2. 13 seconds, and they're just separating. Jenka can get taken out, but so long as they stay alive, Dia shouldn't have enough time for the bomb point. Actually, he might just sneak it in, just about, but a 1-on-1 with low HP. The wall bank damage going well for Mino. I don't know if he knows about it, but either way, this AK facing up from heaven. Dia checking out the rafters. Eyes on, looks up, Mino secures the fight, gets a 3K, and BM appropriate WISLA, another confident start on their opponent's map pick. I'm seeing some serious patterns from this Polish side.
I'll tell you what, it's just some really nice clutches there. We saw the ramp play coming in from... I don't even remember who it was, whether it was Jedka or Ponchak, but they just shut it down. It may have even been Mino out from ramp, but the fact is that Sprout had 3 players looking to ramp, and they back off, and there's just got a single lurk that's starting to hunt them. It all just gets shut down in lobby, and I think that for Sprout, they've got to realize the fact there has been quite a few elements, especially in the mid-round and late round from WISLA, where these guys are getting very antsy. They're getting very aggressive on the CT side. So for the German-Polish mix, they need to be making sure, Jay, that they're keeping an eye for the over-aggression, because it just continues to come through on Nuke.
Oh, flashes, smokes up. AWP is snatching with the AK Dia. Dia finds that opening kill, facing in from the ramp room. I could use around ramp here for the full control. A 5-on-4 scenario. Molotov's down. Potential facing towards the B site. I mean, they're still working off several default positions. Dennis in particular. Out here towards Garage. Sparrow's back is turned. That's an easy frag to find. A 5-on-3. Sprout slowly but surely picking apart WISLA in this one.
Dennis is doing so much lurking outside, and they're waiting for the over-aggression. Ponchek does find a response, though, but at least Dennis is able to capitalize on 3 kills in the round. He's done so much work from outside, even on for his quadra, Jay. Hades with the AWP, not going to hit the shot. That's a 4th kill up for Dennis. And whether he's been out on Garage, in through Secret, around T-Red, around main outside, he has been able to find so much work. And, of course, our fantastic sponsors over at Hellcase.com are giving a couple of codes for everyone to use at home, MultiV and MultiV15, to get a little bit of cash in your account and a 15% refill bonus. As Sprout, Jay, have at least been able to respond. Now, what we saw on Train, at least in the early stages, were back and forward rounds. It seems like that's a bit of a continuation now going on to Nuke.
Scout set for Sparrow. Mach 10 diving down from Farven. Sprays continue. Mino with a 5-7 ready against Dia. And Dia sees him in the gap. Gets that kill with the AK. Gets dinged down to 2 HP of his own, right? So it is a bit of an even trade. Of course, the pistol's out here looking to do as much damage as possible. So not getting away with the round won't be too much of the concern here for WISLA.
They need to make sure, though, for Sprout that Dia's trying to stay alive. 2 HP. Great damage has actually been done to this Sprout side so far on the Force. And Dia on 2 points of health. Dennis on 30. Great shot coming out from Hades. And he's looking for more, Jay. He's staying around.
Dia gets Hades next. 4-on-3 scenario. Sprout. Dia on 2 and Dennis on 30. These are the 2 players that are going to be extremely low for this T-side execution. When it does come through in about 43 seconds time, the players making their way out towards the ramp room, seeming like they don't want to go for a B commitment. There's no player on the B side. They're all held towards upper and outside. I believe the Sparrow's slowly making his way out towards Secret. No, back in towards main instead. So no contention for the B site itself.
And they even got Faffin to clear out lower, so they can bring in the bomb through ramp without any contest whatsoever. Get that bomb planted. And for WISLA, I wouldn't even be surprised if they go for the save, Jay. This is a force buy and a 3-on-4 retake with no one in retaking positions. Better off just saving your weapons.
Yeah, makes sense. Grab that AK, dropped on Snatchy. Surprised that the max out of Father didn't actually try and look for it early on before the CT's got their hands on it, but... Sprout get their third, Deer and Dennis. Just try and get away from the bomb blast explosion to save the AWP and the AK. And Sprout will get their third to the board for WISLA. Again, it was a force buy round. They were mostly focusing on damage. Getting away with an AK means that the next eco probably should be a bit more bolstered for the CT side.
And look, there was a chance to get rid of that AK. Like, they could have gone out towards T-spawn, dropped one of the weapons over, and then picked it up. But it would have, first of all, just wasted time. And they realized the fact, you know, if they take it, they take it. It doesn't really matter. All we know is that Faffin's cleared out lower. Let's just take ramp. Don't really worry about that single rifle being dropped. And a response in from Sprout now to find a couple rounds in a row. Now, if you look back to Train, I did say that we sort of had like a similarity in the sense of back and forward rounds. When Sprout were able to end that streak, that's where they came into their own on the T side. And that's where I'm getting worried that this might continue.
From Farvin, Molotov's in to try and stop anybody from making their way in from the vent dive. He's all the way downstairs on the map. 10 straight in against Mino, knows that that window got open and can find that easy pick as a result. Continuing to face forward out to the ramp area. Meanwhile, outside, Hades has found 2 headshots. The second one is a flick for the ages. And Farvin does chain back to a 3 versus 3. Ponchek sneaking in the back line's got the AK set. The map 10 falls, but more T-side presence to deal with. The Orpa Snatchy next up. P250 opening the window, putting a Molotov back there, and will still take contact. 2 AKs for the CT side. A retake is definitely on.
Oh, it really is. Dia needs to try and defend as much as possible, but the spam comes through from double doors, and now Dia's in a 1-on-3. They even know exactly where he is. The flames would have touched him. A 1-on-3 clutch. He's picked up the bomb, but how does he even try and bring this off? Maybe see if he could push decontamination is an opportunity. If he gets a kill, maybe try and see if he could split up through the vents. He's got time on his side, but the scout is holding the angle. That's Hades, only at 6 HP. That's a big kill. Straight to upper he goes.
Yes. Oh, just caught off by the AK of Jedka. A pixel away. If he had his knife out, I think he would have just about escaped it. It's like that's the difference when it comes to seeing the foot and getting the kill. And that will be a 6 for WISLA, just about secured there by the CT defensive. Sprout got real close within it though. But again, that was an eco. There was no investment, just those rifles that were saved in, the AK and the scout, and of course the pistol from the third player. Other than that, there was nothing that WISLA bought into, so a lot of impact from a little amount. Outside, they'll go very early on here on the Sprout side. A rebuy is in with the Orbs and the AK as a standard.
Big round, very big round to convert from WISLA, but an opening kill comes out from Snatchy. This is the AWP battle between Hades and Snatchy that wins out in favor of the T side. Oh, another kill from Snatchy. How has he done this outside?
Walked for him. 13 HP for the AWP. He has definitely received some licks, but most part, he has opened things up for Sprout to work with here. 5-on-3 scenario. Bombston in the lobby position. Jedka and a teammate will start pushing in from Hut, though. Seen by Farvin. He has info and a frag. A 4-on-3 situation. 60 seconds left of the clock. Dennis still in the upper rafters. Going to see them and try and funnel them back in towards lobby as they clear out the site. They'll realize the bomb plant can come through.
The thing is, though, is that the cities have cleared out lobby, but how do they try and get back into control of at least trying to retake this bomb site? A little bit of information coming through, and now they know there's 2 players in Squeaky. They've got all the info they need.
Oh, Snatchy with 4 kills. The AWP just going ham in this round. Mino will get Dennis next. Drop to hell. Grab the AWP drop from his teammate and save it. There's no other options here. This will be a 4 for Sprout and a confident one of that.
4 kills for Snatchy. And I think he was on 1 before this round started, Jay. What a madman. And he was so low, too, after finding that secondary kill that he's been able to follow up with 2 more. Mino holding on to this AWP. Moneyline's looking pretty awkward for WISLA. We're going back and forward. We are really seeing a lot of singular rounds from both sides.
Hearing ticks in my head, I assume that was going to be a tactical pause being called by WISLA. Apparently not.
Nice shots to Snatchy, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, Based on the fact there was about 4 or 5 ticks there, or that maybe that could have been a case for all the players that went down for WISLA, but being an AWPs, the AWP being saved from the last round is going to enable a force buy from the WISLA side. 2 M4s and SMG. Sparrow's got a deagle. It's not ideal, but it could still work good for this. Forces up. Snatchy forced away from the Molotov here. No contact, no face, no aggression from the CT side.
Re-smoking off the squeaky position, not giving any more of a sight line up for Snatchy. And once again, we've seen Dennis in towards Secret. He's done so much lurking on this T side. And Fafin opens up. That might have been just a straight spam through the wall, Jay.
Snatchy! Another kill found for the AWP here to add to his massive tally at this stage. Dia finding Mino next to a 5-on-3, 5-on-2 I should say more specifically. 99 HP for Snatchy, the only player to take damage until Dia took that and deagle shot to the body. Still gets the kill on Sparrow, high headshot to hit, and Ponchek. 1-on-5 for him, he's done. Not in this round. 5th to the board of Sprout. And WISLA on their CT side have managed to come away with a decent half here, but it looks like Sprout are finally going to get themselves back on track.
Yeah, and I think both of us were sort of wondering when this moment was going to happen, when we really start to see Sprout take control. And it seems like we're getting to that point now. A couple rounds in a row from Sprout looking pretty dominant. They've got a hold of at least the economy game. It's going to be pretty much just USPs up for WISLA. They can't really afford anything else. They'll get 2,400 in that next round on the loss bonus. And it won't even be an AWP investment going forward, so it'll only be M4s out in the next round from WISLA. Sprout, the opportunity to tie it up is pretty likely in a round like this. Ooh.
Look at this. Oh, Snatchy and Dennis outside control. You would have thought the boost bot could do something here for the pistols, but not a point of damage. The only damage, the floor did more damage than the CTs did right there. You saw Snatchy just jump off the mini position and just take damage for his own right. That's how you know a round's gone wrong for the CT side, but it was an eco, so, you know, let it be. M4's out for this next round. This is where the impact needs to come through from WISLA.
Yeah, and it's a tough one because, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of post plants out from the T's, but the fact of the matter is there's no kit and there's no incendiaries up on that CT side. Triple boost. Oh, no. I thought they were going for the boost to look in towards the heaven position. I think they actually are, Jay. Up towards the rafters there. Always get some sort of strange boost and try and get the utility down. But for the most part, not a lot of damage has been done to the CT side. Oh, how has that happened?
Kill for Farven once again. The entry for Sprout have looked so good in these last few rounds. The teams have worked inland and found their way onto quite an amount. Mino backed up with the M4, looking around with the AKD. See ya. Mino trades it back to a 4-on-4 scenario.
What's Dennis going to do, though? Because he's outside, so maybe the T's just take ramp control and try and go lower. Under a minute left on the clock. A good response coming out from Mino, at least out from ramp, but he's actually started to get really aggressive. Maybe even a vent dive to come in for the T side. I tell you what, Mino can start pressing forward. He can start to take some lobby control.
Slowly but surely. And around to the lobby position. AWP as Snatchy drops down, looks on Farven with the AK spray. Will try and drop down all the same. Orpa Snatchy's ready to cut off rotations here. Dennis backed up. Hades, edge of the smoke stuff. Bomb plant will be secured here via the vent dive. And Mino, where did he come from? I think from the lobby position, yeah. Moving back towards the ramp area. Dennis not watching. Farven gets Sparrow down to return, and he doubles up on Hades. Dennis gets Mino on rotation, so Jed cut. Last man standing, 1-on-3 scenario. And he's got to save the rifle here. He's got no say in the matter. This will be 7 for Sprouts as they take the lead back from WISLA.
And if I was to maybe sort of focus on one of the biggest mistakes that WISLA have been making, Jay, in this first half, is that they're giving Dennis too much freedom. He has been lurking outside for the majority of this T-side half, and he goes into secret. They pull some distractions up towards upper. The vent dive comes in, and Dennis is pushed so far into, like, the base face of ramp from the lower bomb site and just cutting off rotations. They're giving him too much freedom. They need to be able to deal with the lurk outside, because maybe Dennis hasn't been able to find the most amount of kills. I mean, he's still doing a pretty good job, but the fact is he's getting so much map control for Sprout.
Halfway going to come through from Vista in this next round. The output here from Sparrow back down towards the secret area. 5-7 ready against the Seaside Forces. He gets one frag. Looking for Spinny next. Not quite following suit. So 3-on-3 scenario. Steer drops down. Doesn't take any damage. He drops into that box. Smartly so off the silo area. But Vista doing a decent job with a little bit left in the tank. Deagle's set ready to try to see if they can try and secure a round or even steal some more rifles and do some damage to Sprout.
Yeah, you missed that box, and I think you take like 42 damage or something. It's pretty much, it's a lot. Mino, though, into the lower bomb site. Now, if he gets the contact and gets the information, he should be able to call in the rotation. All down to timing. He could drop this bomb. Oh, good shot coming out from Speedy with the AWP. He's got 3 kills in the round now.
On M4 of Hades does get picked up, so at this stage it's probably best for him to save. And this should end up being an 8th for Sprout, unless Hades can do something with the M4. He is sneaking back in, though. Backs to turn away from the smokes. Farven watching. No, closing the double doors. Swing from Hades. Deny the bomb plant. No, he won't. Okay, the way does observation and try to look for a different way in. The Molotovs go down to the ramp entrance. M4 not catching info on vision onto D. Does now. Sprays through, takes him down. Looking towards corner in a 2-on-2. One check next to the Deagle. Going to try and catch off Farven, but doesn't get that frag. AK headshot coming in simply. And a 1-on-2 now for Hades. Trying to back up out of the tunnels area. Save the M4. 8 back for Sprout. They've taken the lead on T side.
And they've really started to come into their own now, Jay. This was, what, a 5-1 lead at one point from WISLA. A 6-3 as well. Yeah, it's getting a little bit out of hand now. Sprout have been able to claw really deeply into the back end of this first half. And for WISLA, all the momentum that they had towards the start of the half is just gone. You know, it's very difficult to bring that forward now into the second half. And you've just got to think, you know, after seeing what WISLA performed out on their T side in that opening best of 3, or at least the last best of 3, I'm getting a little bit worried, Jay, especially if they can only manage 6 rounds on CT.
Oh, Flash is perfect to get the vent dive in once again. Sprout have worked wonders with his position of map control. And it's wrapping over towards the secret area. He's being covered off by Sparrow already, but he's very passive over to this mini position. Sprout set inside the lobby area. Is very passive other than this outer contact area. Then this could be on to take the opening frag. It's all that the timing crosshair placement against Sparrow. M4 set and ready. Dennis looking the wrong way. Back's turned, but still not being seen. He's found a lot of map control from here.
He can backstab. Like, there's so many opportunities here now for Dennis. He can start to open up ramp room. He can get into heaven. And no one has got any idea that this is happening, because Spiro was watching outside from main and he saw nothing. No smokes, no player, no sound.
Smoke set. Dennis has got so much. Dennis is going to basically win the whole round right here. All he's got to do is find the appropriate frags. See one player up mini, takes that fight, barely wins it out, looks back towards upper, deals with an X3 versus 2. And Dennis will burn a little bit out of position, but he knows where Mino is. Hades is the only concern for the T side. He's sneaking around from the back lines, AK Farven faces, and the AWP takes him down. 2-on-2, retake on, AWP refaces, but Snatchy gets away alive. Mino's reposition as Dennis still holds the upper rafters control. Snatchy watching back, AWP v AWP. Jewel goes well for Hades, and Dennis is all that remains. Still sitting in the rafters, still watching the up positions, takes the face on the player, out of Marshmallow, drops down. Does Hades read this? Yes, he does. The Deagle comes up good, and Vista claims 7 to close the CT half.
Big round coming out from Hades, and unfortunately for Dennis, even with the amount of work he did outside, wasn't really able to close out the round that it looked like he would have been able to. Hades hitting some really great shots there, leading the kills, at least for the WISLA KRAKOW side, 14 and 11 deaths, doing a hell of a lot of work. And that one round, Jay, although it's only one towards the end, it brings a little bit of self-confidence going forward. Sprout can be pretty pleased with how things went on their T side. It was a good recovery back from the slow start that they had, and all those odds not quite as juicy as the second half on Train, but still in favor of the Sprout side. So if you do want to get involved over in our fantastic betting partners of LootBet, you can check out all the information underneath the Twitch channel in the banners. Jay, there's got to be a response from WISLA, and it's got to really come off the basis of this pistol round.
Fast players welcoming for the T side. They are not willing to stop for anything. Back's turned to Dia. He still gets away with a headshot against Hades. Snatchy is traded by Jedka now as Vista make their way downstairs, and Dia's got a lot of work to deal with. Still lands the headshots regardless. Got Sparrow next up to face. Contact against the bomb plant, 3-on-3. Mino enters towards upper, gets it to 2, but Spitty trades it to 2-on-2. And now Mino and Sparrow are siphoned off from each other. I think they've got the info on both the CTs being downstairs though, so as A site is secure, the bomb plot can still come through.
There is a kit and a nade coming out from Speedy, and it's down to the two veterans, Speedy and Dennis, who have been on this lineup for many years now. Oh, the outside player, though, coming out from Mino. Surely no one checks this. Great jewel to come out onto Dennis, and now Speedy is the last one left. A good response coming in from the WISLA side, but now it's into a one-on-one.
He's got the kit as well. Sparrow's on low HP. All comes up to the face and the contact and a shot in particular. Nade on if he puts that right. Actually, this could work out well for Speedy. Just no smoke. Nade in the wrong position. Takes the damage, faces against Spiro, and Spiro wins out the fight. Down to the wire once again for Sprout, but Visla come up good with a pistol round momentum swing into the T-side half.
Now, that's what they need, Jay. Fast out towards ramp. They deal with D-Hut and trade out really nicely. Mino's able to get a kill towards the upper bomb site, and from there they say, hang on a minute, we've actually found an opening towards upper. Let's bring that bomb back up. A force fire coming out from Sprout. A tied scoreline at 8-8. And already, Jay, this is looking to be a much more competitive map from the WISLA side outside of Train that we saw early on where they had that late comeback.
Even standing CT side of Sprout of the Deagles. 5-7 set. Dennis with a smoke ready and raring to go. The 5-7. Ready against the T side. Damage being done by the AK spray. Ponchak eventually comes up with that kill. Matt 10 with some $600 in the bank. He is getting away with his teammates though, so that might stall the hits coming through for a moment. Not enough time, however, for the CTs to rotate en masse. Just nades up, standard stuff. Molotovs burning. Dia and Speedy extremely low. The Matt 10 can clean them both up, but he doesn't get away with a kill. So 4-on-4. Where do they go from here? Looks like Speedy's going back to save his weapon because he's on 7 points of health, and it looks like the rest of the CTs are going to follow suit.
That looked a bit awkward there in terms of some of the utility, didn't it? From both sides, whether it didn't get thrown because it was blocked and then a flash got blocked. But in the end, for WISLA, they take the lead, Jay. Huh, okay. Down into that lower bomb site, Ponchak did a really great job of at least being able to back up his players from Secret, taking down Dennis. And from there, opening up that lower bomb site, getting the post plant in, and the CT's just saving. How much further can WISLA start to bring this? Now, we did see at least a lead in their camp on this second map of the series for like the majority of that first half, at least towards the beginning, and then we saw a comeback for Sprout to take the lead. And this is the chance for WISLA to put even more pressure on their opposition.
Ooh.
Don't
Shot
like
to the back
that.
of the head. It's funny how a knife to the back does more damage than a shot to the back of the head. It's very weird.
Is that funny, is it? Like...
Oh no, it's just one of those amusing things. It's just like CSGO just seems so logical in that respect, you know, in all irony's sake. Speaking of ironic, the pistols have got the upper hand against the rifles. Big peek in from Snatchy, gets away with 100 points of health. Hades is tagged, Ponchak is tagged, so 5-on-4. The Sprout could very easily win. Molotov in, Snatchy does get another kill back out. Diaz pushed forward, he's found 2 kills. I was making jokes a moment ago. This is nothing to joke about. 1-on-3 for Jedka. Got an ace clutch this round. Tagged up. Mac 10-5 is so ready for this. Swings gets the kill. And Sprout come back to evens.
Oh, I can't watch that. Like, that's a round where really they got rushed. That's all it comes down to. There's so much aggression coming out on that CT side. There's pressure out towards ramp, pressure out towards Hut. And just some really great duels. Snatchy in particular was able to get way too much there. And now WISLA are taking a bit of a tactical to go, okay, some of us have got money to buy. Ponchek doesn't. Do we want to force the issue right here, see if we can break the economy from the city side? I'm looking at the strong buy from Sprout too. They've got 2 M4s, the AWP, and 2 AKs to work with going into round 19.
A lot of potential. A lot of potential here. If Sprout can win this, then they can reclaim their lead. Not only do that, but also press further forward. Potentially really get close to the map point. At the very least 12-9 is a possibility for the Sprout side, so nades up. Spiddy outside. Oh, Ponchek, Sparrow chiming in as well. And just like that, WISLA get a 5-on-3, trying to make it 2 as Mino catches Dio rotating out to the locker rooms. And well, this buyback from the T side has gone all the well. Dennis and Farvan just left to figure out how what the hell they do from here. We'll drop in from the AK, we'll get themselves 1 frag, but that's as far as it goes.
What was that outside? You know, we criticized at least the Saw camp going for the A piece out from long, just wide swinging without smokes. They didn't even have that last smoke to cross into secret. And the Deagle and the AK just come up absolutely massive from Ponchek and Spiro. Sprout don't know what hit them just then. What do you say about that? Like,
I've got nothing to say about that. That is disaster for Sprout. Just how quickly the round fell apart. Not the fact the round fell apart, not the fact that WISLA won it because they had decent rifles, but just the fact that it fell apart due to a drive-by Deagle, an aggressive face, and then everything just went to hell. Once again, the low buy, the force buy from Sprout will still come up with an opening kill. Dennis this time with the SMG, peeking towards Squeaky, catches a second kill. What is going on in these last few rounds? Spinny's gonna get trading back. Dia falls in return, but a 4-on-2 for the CT side.
This is madness, Trey. Help me escape this. What's going on? Ponchek now is in a 1-on-4, and this is all falling apart. What is going on with the force buys? Oh, Sprout. Dennis gets 2 kills. The AWP then chimes in. The round falls apart. There's no money for WISLA. Now they have to force, and I bet they're just going to drive by outside again and just absolutely rip. I don't know what's going on. Wow, we have just seen, on paper, rounds that should not happen like they did. That's really what it was.
I didn't know Poland was a CIS country.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about CIS, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it unless it comes another round. But no, you're right. Like, it's honestly like we're watching CIS teams here.
Well, Snatchy with his AWP out on the full buy round for Sprout, hoping to restore some order to the server. Mino does grab the scout that Sparrow had dropped. Outside position here for the T's to work inwards. Oh, Ponchek. He's found Spiddy. He's found the first of the 2 AWPs in play. And Jenkins found the second. Oh! And gets Deer as well. I can't. Oh, Sprout. 3v2. Presence on B site. They have committed 1 player, but not the bomb down out of ramp room just yet.
Oh, it's over. Yeah, this round's done. Faffin's in a 1-on-3. And we're going back and forward with the force buys. The double AWPs. Your AKs, your M4s just getting decimated. Well, 1-on-2 now from Faffin. Now he does have a kit. A flashbang 2, trying to spam through. No one's there. And he's just running out of time, Jay. He needs to get a bit of a move on this.
Oh my word. He's just hoping for a lucky kill on a position up in the rafters, because if he gets it, then that could be an opportunity to clutch it in a one-on-one context, but 1v2 is too much for him. Only a flashbang utility. Now that information being gained by the T side is going to realize that he is definitely not on for this. Did he orb outside?
No. I was thinking maybe he was recovering it, but they obviously weren't playing there, because they had two of them of Snatchy and Speedy in this round. Huh. I don't want the Force Buys to continue. I want to see proper Counter-Strike, Jay, whereas the Ecos and the Force Buys do a bit of damage, not a lot. And the gun rounds is where, like, the meat of things are. Not these, like, Deagle, like, wide swings. Like, you see Ponchek just, like, hitting an absolutely insanely duel out from ramp. And then the Deagle of Jedka just opens it up with 2 kills. And you're looking at it like, what am I even watching here? This should not happen. And it is, on a very constant level on Nuke.
While Vista making good on their earlier T side against Saw. Having their control out, and of course, doing much better than they did earlier today on Nuke against Sprout. This is Sprout's CT side, by the way. They were able to score 7 rounds in a row to get the map victory above WISLA when they were 9-6 up at the half as well. There's not a major advantage being gained by WISLA in the end of that half, so the fact that they've gone this far with it. Not encouraging for the Sprout side. Pause will be called this time. It's a technical one, for whom I'm not sure, for reasons I do not know. Hopefully we'll find out. For Sprout, it is a moment's respite, because they have been struggling in this second half.
Yeah, they have. I think both teams have been struggling, in all honesty. It's just kind of come off the basis of who can win the Force Buy better. Something that, you know, we kind of joke about that we see a lot in the CIS region, which we do. You know, you look at your Gambit youngsters, your Forza, your K23s, all teams like that, man. Like, they are just so insane when it comes to these Force Buy rounds. But you don't typically see it with most of your European teams, at least not high in nature. I mean, already we've seen, like, what, 6, 7 Force Buy rounds being won in this map alone. It's kind of got ridiculous on how many it is. Both teams have just not really been able to get a foothold onto, trying to hold on to the round at least. Now, the Force back is going to come out for Sprout. They do have that M4 and that AK to work with on Dennis and Faffen, as well as the Scout up for Spitty. But you've just got to think for WISLA, win this round, you get to 12, you eco them, you get 13 up. That's your chance right here to be able to claw this map back and potentially try and take us to a 3rd.
Nades up as standards. Damage being done in no amount. And the Deagle forcing forward here. The statue, the insurance policy held up on that boost spot position.
He's trying to bait them.
Contact, yeah. This will all come down to the specifics. The Deagle's seeing them 5-7 out, spamming his way through, seeing 2. Does manage to find 1 frag. Dia's got the rest of the damage to do. Spitty will trade places with Mino. The 3-on-3 scenario favor to nobody. And they've gained 2 rifles here, and one of those rifles down the B bomb site as well.
Yeah, this is looking pretty decent for the Sprout side, but they need to make sure that they're not over-rotating to lower, because there is still an opportunity to split into upper, and that's why you're seeing the eyes being looked towards heaven from Faffen. Dia doing a hell of a lot of damage onto Jedka, spotting out that bomb, maybe overextending for a little bit too much there, and giving the man advantage up for WISLA, but Dennis is still here towards the lower bomb site with the AK.
Faffen split off towards the A site with the M4. 1 player to deal with for WISLA, but that player could be everything if they can bottleneck them. They know where all 3 players are at, so they'll watch out for the ramp entrance. Farvin turning away. He may have just escaped death, but now knows where they're going. Opens up squeak door, shuts it again in a try and fate in a shot and a kill. Almost got the player of heaven, but was unable to convert the damage to 0. Jedka with that frag, and Dennis is left alone. 1-on-3 with the AK, slow facing up from ramp. No kit and a flashbang. This probably is not going to be a retake for him. WISLA will maintain order, convert their earlier round get to 12 on T side.
And you've got to think, this is probably getting a bit frustrating now for the Sprout side. Like, oh, you know, we made top 20 on HLTV, we just beat Big, we beat OG, and faced off against Vitality and did pretty decently. And we beat WISLA on Nuke in the best of one, and we didn't destroy them, but we still beat them pretty convincingly. And now they're in a massive back foot approach. They're probably going to be down, Jade, 12 to 13, because you've got to think you can't invest anything into this round. It's going to be AK with 4, or well, everyone's going to be on USP. There's not going to be any upgrades there. This is a real chance here for WISLA to start to close out this map. They've looked impeccable in this second half, only giving Sprout 2 rounds so far, Jay.
Think about that. Sprout 2 rounds on Nuke on CT side.
Yeah.
WISLA have really come into their own on this map and really come into their own in general. Nades up to do some damage. CT's held back. Also, these pistols in the Zeus for D, the AK of Dennis is the only thing they really have to work with, and is facing direct contact against the Krieger Hades. It's got Mino in the silent position to deal with. Speedy caught off guard with Utility, dealt with by Sparrow. Utility does come out here, and Dennis can get that frag back. He's a player at the top of mini as well, so information kills. Seeing a player at side low. Oh, he gets that headshot, but sadly he goes down, and the rest of his teammates also follow suit. Do you with the Zeus? Contracts Mino, makes some noise. Mino heard it. Oh! And the Zeus does come up with the frag. Fair play. Ponchek next up, but faced away at hard cover, 55 points of health. Then he just finds some cover. Actually forces the kill on the bomb planter. Player at upper, Sparrow knows where he is. And Sparrow saves the round.
For an eco, they can be really happy with that. They had, what, a single AK and USPs. They got away with 4 kills. Almost won it out there in the end from Dia. Lovely Zeus kill. The follow-up, too. Even a great smoke to land back to give him a bit of cover through Squeaky and then push forward through it. WISLA just hold on to that round. But there is a buy coming into round 24. A gun round to come out. M4's up for everyone on the CT side. Fast maybe into a vent dive for the T side, and it is for a single player.
M4's up, Krieger Hades gets the kill on Snatchy for a frag to open up the round up here. Speedy turns it around on Jedkalo, 4-on-4. Bomb plant is going to be secured here by the WISLA side. Sprout with the HP advantage on the retake. Only 1 kit for Speedy, and he gets taken down. Sparrow falls in trade. Dennis will pick up the mantle of that kit. Back up here, Dia looking on to the site itself. The bomb plant has already been secured. He's trying to look for a player to frag back upon. Sees Mino, tags him, but he gets tagged of his own right. AK's facing close. Dennis getting caught up by the flashbang, and WISLA doing all they can to stall for time against Sprout. I think they're throwing in the towel. Yep, they're adding it. 14 for WISLA. This map is going the way of the polls, slowly but surely. But if they keep this up, they'll have Nuke under wraps.
They absolutely will. Oh, that's big, though. 3 players staying alive. They can start to pick up some T weapons. They get away with a Krieg and an AK. That's still a big round, though, from WISLA. Even the fact that everyone goes down doesn't matter. What matters is putting a round up on the board. Oh, that's kind of interesting. A 14-10. Yeah, you're right. Sprout have just, like, this second half is looked pretty rough from them. They've got a really good buy going into round 25, obviously, considering the fact that they saved in. But for WISLA, they are just so close to being able to convert the second map of the series.
They are also 1 round away from being reset by Sprout. They win this next round, the German core could be on to grind their way back to that 16th. Need 6 in a row to deny overtime and map point for WISLA. As you mentioned, just 2 for the T side to take us to a 3rd map. It's passive control again from the T's. WISLA, a much more careful and considered approach due to the lack of utility and lack of breathing room here against the CT side.
Yeah, they've really started to slow it down. Now, there would have been a little bit of contact on Snatchy, seeing some players outside, but for the most part, this is a lot slower from WISLA. We've seen some fast ramp control plays, the vent dives, even outside control. This time around, really slowing down the clock, getting to 50 seconds without really any contact being made, trying to see if they can play the mind games. No real information has been seen by either team, Jay.
Nades up, damage done, Farther than Dennis get those 2 kills. Sparrow trade them. Dennis holds on alongside Snatchy, and Hades left alone. AWP in his hands, gets the bomb down to the B site. 1v3 now for this retake.
And at least try and do as much damage as possible. The economy line's looking pretty low from WISLA, so the bomb plan's going to hurt them. And the AWP comes in with a good shot. Follow-up, and now it's down to a 1-on-1. Hades isn't going to hit the follow-up, but needs to find it again. The swing coming out, Dia connects, and you thought there was a world in a way that was going to come through on the 1-on-3. Those 2 shots came in incredibly quick out towards single door. Oh, Hades. So close, but Dia clutches it out. The thing is, though, money line's low for both teams. Yeah, like, you can. So many what-ifs in that situation.
That would have been one of the best AWP plays I think we've seen in 9 to 5 if he had done that. But no. As you mentioned, the money is reset for WISLA. There is no buy for round 26. Flashes in, Dennis backed up for the M4, 2 players downstairs. They're going to vent dive, try to get the bomb in for a bomb plant. They're all going to fall to such low HP though. They might secure the bomb plant, indeed they do. Actually, Mino comes up with a frag on Dennis, but just look at these HP numbers. Surely the rifle should overwhelm.
You would think so. There's a Deagle and 4 Glocks. So for Sprout, this should be a pretty easy retake. They are so low on this T side. Already being stuck. Not really much that WISLA can do to get the CTs off this bomb. A 12th round now going the way of Sprout. Now that bomb plant's really going to help them going into the next gun round. Holding on to an M4 too, that's a weapon they don't have to reinvest now.
Another tech pause coming through, so getting a moment's respite here. And as you mentioned, the bomb plant bonus will enable the buy to come through from the WISLA camp. Of course, we'll see the M4 saved on Mino's part. AK is potentially an AWP for Hades, who has had a much better performance in this best of 3 by comparison to the last one. The rest of the CT side, of course, have their standard weapons in. The SMG from Farthen being the only main concern. I don't think it will be much of a worry, however, for the CT camp. As long as they can just get him to survive, you can afford an M4. I mean, even if he goes down, the main thing for them is to win the round because he'll have an investment.
What do you reckon, Jay? I'm going to ask you right here, right now. Prediction on the scoreline.
Oh.
It's a tough one. You know, we've still got a few rounds to play, but I'm gonna give you the hardball question. What do you reckon?
You are a true bastard.
But you know what? I'll up the stakes a little bit, Jay. I will open a Hellcase case and I will give you the winnings if you guess correctly. Only if you guess correctly.
Okay. Oh, Sprout, do I have enough faith in you to go 16-14?
Oh, there could be social media managers listening.
Yeah, okay, I'm going full frontal, 16-14 Sprout. That's what my call is.
Right, I'm going to go 19-16 Sprout. I reckon this is going to OT. I got that gut feeling. You know when you got like the butterflies in your stomach? I don't know. I've got it.
I'm thinking so long as they can win the 2 rifles they got upcoming here in round 27 and round 29, they'll be okay. Like, so long as they can do that, then we'll be Gucci for Sprout. That's all they have to do. Just those 2 rifles, and then you'll be buying me a Hellcase case. So there you go.
Absolutely.
AWP in for Snatchy, M4s on 3, SMG for 5. That deal doesn't cut both ways, by the way. I'm not buying you a Hellcase case, okay?
Oh, okay. All right, then.
AK and Kriegs in for WISLA. M4 save for Mino. And it is default stances to start things off.
A bit of early damage done onto both Jedka and Mino. I see Jedka's really starting to get aggressive around this hard position, seeing if he can do any of that wall banger damage. Sprout, though, you've got to think for these guys, trying to hold on to as much utility as possible. They've still got two incendiaries on the back of Diha and Snatchy, but for the most part, it is quite light util across the line. Oh, Snatchy's outside with this orb, but it looks like it's going to be an upper play with maybe a lurk outside.
SMG set, ready for Farven. Trying to hold off for them here on the Sprout side. Of course, the best position to be at here is the close range spray through. That SMG. Ready on the grill area. Snatchy with the AWP. Set and ready. Utility coming in for WISLA all across the board. Dennis going to peek forward though. Could catch up the Krieg player. And Farven comes up with that kill with support of Spitty. Ponchek, Farven trading back and forth. USP can't get a frag on the rifles. 3-on-2. Dia makes his way upstairs to heaven. AW so close for Snatchy. Turns around against Sparrow. No idea the player coming in from Squeaky. Still gets the big one for his triple. Snatchy snatches the ram from WISLA.
Oh, no, what? Ow! That, like, I want to know his mouse settings. Send it over. What was that? He just did so many 180s, Jay. We saw Dennis aggressing up through the hub position. Faffen did a great job trying to defend for as long as possible with the MP9. And look at this from Snatchy. He's looking towards main. Goes, hang on a minute. I think there's someone behind me. Hang on a minute. I think there's someone towards main. What the hell was going on there?
Oh, my word. What a big AWP play to bring Sprout back. They're in a 3-on-2. Other than that, that probably could have been map point there for WISLA. And this time, Spitty is first casualty, the AK of Mino. Only player to buy here. Other than that, it's Deagle Eco coming in from the T-side forces. But with a man advantage, this could still turn their way.
Good opening coming out from Mino. And no, you're absolutely right. There is an opportunity here. Oh, Mino. He didn't get seen on the outside of this smoke from main. It all just comes off the basis of timing, whether Faffen expects this position, because as soon as that smoke blooms, that's an opportunity to try and split in. But it's going to be the ramp control to come out for the T's.
D has got 3 kills to shut it all down. Bomb picked up and everything. Mino will grab Dennis over on the A side, but the incendiary coming through from Snatchy, just trying to wear down the time. And Mino with his back turned towards Farven. Farven gets that kill. Free AK for the CT side. And indeed, the 14th will go to the border. Sprout. We go all 30 rounds, but for round 29, this could be the deciding factor for WISLA or Sprout to get to map point, potentially with the map win on their board.
It really comes, you've got to think for WISLA, right? If they lose this, then they'll have to really be making sure they're getting a bomb plant, because money might look awkward in round 30. So can be said, though, for the Sprout side. There are a few players that are quite low in terms of the money on the reserve. Speedy's very aggressive outside, looking to try and take some early gunfights, and he's going to have to deal with quite a load amount of players. There's 3 players lurking outside.
WISLA able to make good work on this position in the last half. Spitty to try and do the same, supported by the AWP. Sparrow slow facing, coming up to timing. Sees his man, but Sparrow wins out the fight. AWP as Snatchy does respond. Catchery disappears through the smoke. And no man advantage maintained for the T side.
Oh, that's a big kill coming out from Snatchy, but Dia, it all comes down to him towards the ramp entrance. Oh, only 1 kill. That now opens up the opportunity of trying to split into lower.
Aubrey facing from Snatchy. No idea that Hades is in a compromising position. The AK better be ready for this. Oh, the AWP still lands it! Hades couldn't connect the spray, but it's still got ramp control. Farven tempting face down to hell. They're both going to make their way onto the B-bomb site. Snatchy's there to receive it, though. He had a stellar couple of rounds to get another quadra on his board. The bomb will make its way towards Decon door, planted open for it. And CTs are on the way out. Ponchek gets Snatchy. 2-on-2. Dennis, edge of the squeaky door. Smoke down. Farven looking on. Here's the body plot. Trying to take that challenge on Ponchek. Knows he's relatively low. And Dennis opening doors, putting distraction. Trying to pull them away from position. Farben gets pond checked, and now all that's left is Mino. Here towards Dark. Bomb is open for him. They've got to isolate, take this pick away. Dennis going to face in. See his man. AK spray goes awry, and nades up to try and take him down. Farben will secure it and secure map a match point for Sprout here.
At least they get a bomb plant, Jay. At least the T's get a bomb plant. That's going to help them with the buy going into round 30. What a retake coming out from Sprout. I still don't know how Snatchy got that kill outside. He was still strafing when he hit that shot. That should have been an easy kill up for Hades. And one mistake is the ticket for series point. 15-14, Jay. A strong buy coming out for both teams.
Everything rests on this. For Sprout, it's series victory. For WISLA, it's series survival. And already, Farben's got a Molotov kill on Jedka. Facing so far forward for the opening frags, but he's downstairs immediately to the vents areas. Hades going to try and respond out here alongside Sparrow. 5-on-4 situation. They've taken damage from Sprout, but they haven't conceded a kill.
And they've got a bit of information that it's a plan towards lower. And Dia could be on a quick rotation out from ramp, but still needs to draw his attention. But Speedy, he's got to be the man of contact. Now, if he gets traded in a 4-on-4, that will probably pull Dia down towards a lower bomb side, and so he does. But look at the damage done to Hades.
Snatchy's also on the way there here. M4 and a fantastic AWP to back him up. Will they be able to do enough to lock down the site and lock down the round? The bomb's not committed here just yet. It's still been left in secret. Hades spraying through, and Sparrow looking up. Someone's got to account for that bomb position, because otherwise it's going to end up being a disaster. Dia reads Sparrow, takes him down. Hades enters out. They get the kills, and Mino is all that remains. Bomb out of his control. 35 seconds to find these 3 kills, and Dia